Right. Good afternoon to all of you. Yeah, we would like to start the today's topic. Up to now, I think we have completed a few topics according to your syllabi, right? And when you go back to the topics, what we have done, the very beginning, we have completed the introduction part, then the cycles, right? Accounting information cycles. Then we came back to the DFD, then flow chart, then process chart. Right now we are coming back to the computer frauds. Computer frauds. This is also one of the very important topic, you know, in a society as a whole. Also, this is important, and this is important for us auditors point of view and accounting point of view both, because accountant is the person who is going to establish the internal control system. We want very strong internal control system. That is our foundation. You are working on the internal control system. You stand on internal control system. If you have a weak internal control system, you also have some vulnerable situation. You also have a lot of issues. Then you have a lot of attempt to solve the problem every day. But if you stand on a very sound, good internal control system, you have a less work, and you are also strong accountant. That keep in your mind very carefully. The internal control system is the most important part. I think you already studied how to draw the systems and how to find the weaknesses of the system and all kinds of things under DFD and flowcharts. Now we will talk about the frauds, right? The frauds also arising from the system. I think you all know that fraud is not coming out of the system. Fraud also part of the system. If you have a weak system, I think the frauds are more, right? Then people try to do something when the system is weak. That is also keep in your mind. The weak the system, the frauds also get in more. And people tended to do the frauds when the system is so weak. Now, under this fraud mechanism, under this topic, we pay more attention to the computer-oriented frauds, right? And some other frauds also we will discuss. And frauds are common in developed and developing countries both. Don't think the frauds only for us. Even developed country also we have a frauds, but they always try to maintain a good internal control system to avoid the frauds. Then we will talk about the threats faced by the modern information system more in computerized way, and define the frauds and describe the different types of frauds, and discuss the perpetrators. Perpetrators mean person who is going to do the frauds, right? His characteristics and all, and the fraud triangle, etc. And in addition to that, I will talk to you fraud diamond also. It's something new today, other than the fraud triangle. Okay, then I will go back to the in accounting information system. What threats we have? What are the threats we have in accounting information system? One is natural and political disasters. That is very hard to avoid, but tsunami is a natural disaster, right? Those things are affected to the whole system. That is what we always keep the backup, right? The country like us, I think natural disasters are tended to more. Then we have to always, when the accounting information system, when you are working with a computerized mechanism, the backup is very essential. That is the one threat. Second one is software errors. Even though software errors, even though good ERP system also, there are errors arising. And equipment malfunctions. Malfunctions mean it doesn't work properly, say not saving properly, or maybe certain information automatically deleting. That is danger or risky for us. Then unintentional acts, right? Unintentional acts mean by mistakes. There is no intention to do the frauds. By mistakes, there are things happen. Those are called unintentional acts. Then intentional acts, that is purposely. Perpetrators. Perpetrator is a person who try to do the frauds. Perpetrators, and some of them, right, intentionally, right, plan. They have planned the things in advance and do the frauds. Anyway, we have to avoid, or we have to develop a good mechanism for all of them, not only the intentional acts. Even though natural disasters, also we should have a protection. Those things, as accounting point of view, you have to think about that. Now, threats to accounting information system, you can see here: natural and political disaster. Some example: fire, excessive heat. Some countries have a lot of heats, right? And now you remember Beirut explosion last Tuesday, the Lebanon explosion last Tuesday, right? That is, the high. They have stocked some nitrogen, right? And what was happened? You remember that, right? Now those are un we can't say it's an unintentional act, but anyway, it's a kind of a huge damage to the society. Floods, earthquakes, landslide, those are all natural. Hurricanes, terrorist attacks, tornadoes, right? You can see here war and attacks by terrorists. That is also part of the natural, and it's coming in political disasters. Then software errors, hardware and software failure. Software errors or bugs, right? Then operating system crashes, power outage and fluctuation, and you can say undetected data transmission errors, and unintentional acts, accident caused by the human careless, failure to follow the establishment procedure, right? Then when you forget to save, or you are not forgetted to keep the backups, poorly trained supervised personnel, innocent errors or omissions, lost, erroneous mean wrongly you calculated, destroyed, misplaced data, logic errors, those kind of unintentional acts also, you know some kind of a risk, it's a loss. Finally we lost, right? And intentional acts, computer crimes we call sabotage, misrepresentations, false use, false use or unauthorized. We will talk all these things in later in the depth month. Misappropriation of assets, financial statement frauds. You remember there are a lot of case studies we have about that. Corruption and computer fraud, attacks, social engineering, malwares, etc. You can see lot of purposely people develop the viruses to attack the system, and all kind of things we can say say intentional acts that been purposely they have planned and done. Then I will, before I go to the next slides, I think Sandarvan sir, you can explain something about addition to what I said.
Yes, sir. Now, the threats that we have on AIS are very important because when you manage the AIS, you have to think about how to manage these threats, right? Now, as sir mentioned, if the AIS is, broken down or is not working in the organization, information that will be given to parties, including management, will not be given. Therefore, nowadays, because organizations heavily depend on the IT systems, including AIS system, right? So, not having a proper functioning AIS, you can't even think of business, right? Therefore, AIS is very important for the function of the business nowadays, particularly. Therefore, the threats to AIS should be addressed, right? So, you have to be proactive. Now, one example for natural and political threat, if you can remember September 10th of 2011, the ISIS attack on Pentagon, America, right? It lost billions of dollars to the America, right? That is the monetary value. But if you look at the data system, the entire data systems of the buildings, the complex like military secrets, they have lost these secret, right? Now, as mentions, Lebanese and injured 5,000 people, right? So what happened? It can be taken to the unintentional, because they have stored that ammonia of ammonia stored and so they have stored these ammonia stock, like of ammonia in the port, without taking appropriate measures. Now this has been stored in there over 6 years. අවුරුදු 6ක් තිස්සේ මෙහෙම මේ ස්ටොක් එක තියෙනවා. Food item, right? People know that these are explosives. These can create explosions, right? But action. So one can argue that this is an intentional act, right? Or someone can argue that this is an intentional act, right? Now, in this like, the AIS system is in danger. Therefore, what will happen? The system is dependent on the AIS. Then, if AIS is if that system doesn't work properly, what will happen? About the public kills and it's heavily dependent on the IT system, right? So keep in mind. So you can continue while I'm looking at that matter.
Okay, then I will come back to the frauds, the definition of the frauds. That is also very important. Many students, especially in the professional exams, they don't have any idea about that. What do you mean frauds? Or definition wise, they don't know. Or maybe they don't have a clear-cut idea. Now here you can read carefully how the fraud is defined by the various authors and in the literature. Any means a person used to gain an unfair advantage over another person. Very simple. Unfair advantage. It is not a fair advantage. Unfair advantage. Suppose you are a friend of mine, right? You come to me and get one question, right, for the AIS exam question. Then you are friends and you go and you get because you can answer very well. You know the question now. For the exam paper, that question comes to you. Then you get unfair advantage over your friends, over another friends. Now, very simple. You know, anything happen, you can feel that somebody get unfair advantage than the others. Even you stay in the queue to get some service. Maybe some relatives, they are in the bank, they call someone else and help you. That is unfair advantage over another person. Now you can see unfair advantages, you can find out more from each and every cases. That is we call frauds, right? It's including a false statement, representation, or in an accounting term. You change the figures, right? Somebody get unfair advantage than the others, and you have some intention in your mindset. Go to the bank and get a bank loan. Then you change all the financial statements. Disclosures change. Material fact, which includes, induce victim to act and intent to deceive. Deceive means you hide, right? Certain things you hide, certain informations. I think other ones will explain in audit firms, right? What his own experience. People deceive, right? Certain things. That means some group of people or some one particular organization, one person get unfair advantage over another person. Victim relied on misrepresentation. We will talk one by one in depth. Injury or losses were suffered by the victim. You can see frauds, right? What you can keep in your mind very simply, the fraud means, right, a person used to gain an unfair advantage over another person. In our time, I remember that long time back in my A-level time, if you do A-level in Colombo schools, right, where you studied in Colombo school, Very rare you can go to the medical college or a university because more marks you need. More marks you need to enter to the medical faculty if you do the studies in Colombo schools. Then most of but I did it Colombo school, right? What to do, right? Most of them, right, in my batch, I remember that they went to Nuwara, they went to Munaragala. From the O level, before the O level, they disappear, right? They went to Munaragala, they went to Nuwara, they did their A level, right? And they came to the medical college also. Some of them are very senior, physicians, right? In Sri Lanka still, right? I remember that before the O level, they were disappeared from the class. We couldn't find out them, right? When later we realized that they went to the Nuwara, did O level there, and came to the classes in Colombo, studied all the classes with us, and again go to the Nuwara and did the A level. And under the those days we had 4 subjects, only 3 SSs he got. As the 4th subject failed, but over 25 marks. But he got to the medical college, right? Medical college. Now he is a physician. We studied here, right? Did the commerce, very hard time, get more marks, and there are some people do something like that. That's also unfair advantage, right? Now, finally, those people, if they are in Colombo cities and main cities and do A level, they don't have that chances to go to the medical. There are people like that, very cunning and thinking such as strategies. I think I don't want to explain to you. There are so many like that under this district quota system. People do many things like that, right? These are all we call frauds. That is what sometimes some people say, that you can't find out the person in our country without doing a frauds, right? But that is, the level of the frauds can be different, but everybody do something at least in minimum way or a maximum way. Now, this is the good example. Any means being, there is very broader sense, right? Whatever the activities, any means a person use to gain an unfair advantage over another person, that's we define as a fraud. Now you can put many things, right? Frauds under the fraud category. That is very broad sense you can study. Frauds are typical organization losses. Typical organization losses, right? 5% of its annual revenue to fraud, indicating yearly global fraud losses of over 2.9 trillion. It's bigger than our GDP sometimes, right? Now, say this US dollar 2.9 trillion. Now, what is our GDP in US dollars? Who can answer that question? Sri Lanka GDP, gross domestic product per year. In US dollars wise, how much in Sri Lanka? Anyone else who can type, or you can mail us, SMS us? If you know that in local Sri Lanka GDP, don't go to internet and find out and tell. Directly, if you can tell, actually you have a good knowledge of, good knowledge of IQ. Such IQ knowledge very essential, for you to talk and, explaining whatever the presentation. Owner, executive, whatever the person, frauds took much longer to detect because of the most of the white collar people. White collar people mean you and me, accountants, CEOs, owners, right? Very hard, such a people doing a frauds, very hard. Took much longer to detect and were more than 3 times as costly. Very huge damage as a manager perpetrated frauds, and more than 9 times as costly as employees frauds. Now you can, the small people we call, who are in the laborers, blue collar people, that frauds very quickly you can detect. Actually, it's a very small amount, but the big people frauds, huge and detection is very hard. That is the issue, I think, everywhere, every places, and they use so many mechanisms and deceive it, hide it. You can't get back that. The more than 85% of perpetrators had never been charged or convicted of frauds. They jump also. Now see, these are world statistics, not a local statistics, right? That's because it's very hard to find out. There is no mechanism to find out. That is the nature, something like that. Small businesses, with fewer and less effective internal control, were more vulnerable. Vulnerable means more trend, or more chances. Probability factor is very high to fraud than the large businesses, because large businesses, they keep very good internal control system. That's what I always emphasize from this subject. Internal control is the most important one, right? Say wherever you go, if you can check the internal control first, then you can do less work. Say you're going to audit, you feel this company internal control system is a very strong, then you don't want to be a fear about that, right? You can do a less audit and come to the conclusion. But if you feel internal control is weak, definitely you have to improve your sample more. Then I keep little bit to my friend Sandaru answer to explain little bit more than what I did. Right. Thank you.
Right now, if I refer to the fraud definition again, now as mentioned, it is any mean a person uses to gain an unfair advantage over another person. Right? Now, if you take normal frauds, they are normally done by people to get unfair advantage over the other persons and the organization. That is clear. But here, if you look at this includes even these are considered as frauds. A false statement, representation, or disclosure. Assume that if you look at the annual report of a company, and based on the information provided in the annual report, if you take a decision, right, and if that annual report is consists of falsified information, and if you take the decision based on that information, right, still it is a fraud. අර සල්ලි වංචා කරන්නම එහෙම නැත්නම් asset misappropriate ඒ කියන්නේ අබභාවිතය කරන්නම ඕනේ නැහැ, right? If you make if you disclose wrong or false information, that is also a fraud. Actually, if I tell you one practical example, these days, you know, the central bank ordered the commercial banks to give loans, working capital loans at 4% concessional rates to the businesses, right? Now, when businesses go to the banks to obtain this concessionary loan, right, the banks request the financial reports. Right? Financial reports illana. I think may SME businesses basically අර සර් කිව්වාගේ internal controls ගොඩක් අඩුයි මේ වගේ SME sector businesses වල, but unfortunately or fortunately in Sri Lanka we have 80-90% of SME businesses, only 10% of, you know, large scale businesses. Right? What these small scale businesses do, right? They ask accountants or like auditors to manipulate their financial records. Their purpose is to get the loan from the bank. Right? They wanted to manipulate their financial information, financial reports, in order to get this concessionary loan from the bank. Right? So it is also a fraud. Right? It is also a fraud, because when we hear the fraud word, right, we might think that it is like theft, or it is like or it is only misappropriation of asset, or it is only the cash theft, right? So it is not limited to the such kind of frauds. It will providing wrong information, right? ගොඩක් අවස්ථාවල අපි දැකලා තියෙනවා ඒ ඇනුවල් රිපෝට් වල පවා සමහර වෙලාවට ඒ තියෙන දේවල් ඒ විදිහටම නැහැ. ඒතර ඒකත් ඇත්තටම broader scope එකකට ගත්තාම fraud එකක් වෙනවා. right? So, sir asked the GDP value of Sri Lanka. I think we haven't got the answer. I can't see the answer, but it is like around 90 USD billion, right? But if you look at the statistics, world statistics, right? $2.9 trillion losses are reported due to these frauds. So රටක නේද කොච්චර GDP වගේ times ගණන් frauds වලින් organizations වලට ඇති වෙනවා, right? ලංකාවේ තෝරලා හිතලා බලන්න දැන් මේක online lecture එකක් නිසා අපිට සමහර දේවල් කියන්න බෑ, but what happened to the finance, what happened to the ETI finance? Okay, so they might have disclosed falsified information through their annual reports or financial statements or press notices, right? So still they are called as frauds. ඉතින් මම ඔයාලට ඔඩිට් කරන්න දැන් මේ ඔයාලා සෙකන්ඩ් ඉයර් ඉන්නේ, නමුත් ඔයාලා තර්ඩ් ඉයර් එකට ගියට පස්සේ ඔඩිට් කරන්න ගියට පස්සේ ඔයාලා එන්වයරන්මන්ට් එකට එක්ස්පෝස් වෙයි. එක්ස්පෝස් වුණාට පස්සේ තේරෙයි කොච්චර දුරකට මේ fraud definition එකට අනුව ගත්තම frauds එනවද කියලා. මොකද අපි narrowly හිතුවොත් එහෙම frauds කියන්නේ like theft of cash, misappropriation of asset, etc. But it is more broader than such the basic type of frauds, right? And one example, today Facebook company in USA, they removed one post of Donald Trump, right? He's the president of America, right? The post posted by Donald Trump on Facebook account has been removed by the Facebook company because it is false. It is regarding the coronavirus information, right? It is a false information. Then even though that is posted by the Donald Trump, the president of America, you know, Facebook company is also an American company, right? So they removed without permission, right? Without getting the permission, the Facebook company removed that post for the first time in the history from the Facebook account of Donald Trump because it is a false information, right? What happens if you present false information? What happens? The users who depend on this information will be incurring losses. They will believe your information, right? Therefore, they will lose something. Therefore, it is also a part of the fraud. නිසා මේක broadly හිතන්න ඕන ළමයි. විශේෂයෙන්ම we as accountants, when we prepare our financial statements, when we say something, when we present our financial information and other information through annual reports, when we make press notices, right? We have to think about this broader definition of fraud. Otherwise, we might unintentionally provide falsified information or without information without verification. Therefore, the innocent people will heavily depend on the information that we provide, right? Therefore, it will be a fraud according to this definition, right? More than 85% of perpetrators had never been charged or convicted of frauds. අහුවෙච්ච නැති කට්ටිය තමයි කරන්නේ. හැබැයි ඔය එවිඩන්ස් වලින් හොයාගෙන තිනවා අර පුරුද්දක් වුණාම ඒක normalize වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා යා දිගට මේක කරනවා. හරි? ඉතින් අර සර් කිව්වා වගේ SME sectors ගොඩක් මේකට නැඹුරු වෙනවා. ඉතල මම කියපු උදාහරණය මම ඒකයි කිව්වේ. So white collar criminals නේද සර්? මොකද ඒක ටිකක් ස්පෙෂල් නේ.
ඔව් මම පොඩ්ඩක් තව ඇඩ් කරන්නම් සදරුවන් සර්.
Okay sir.
මට මතකයි අපේ I was in the beginning in the department from the first batch onwards. I think something start හිටම් කරලා තියෙනවා. අපේ දැන් ඉන්න ගොඩාක් very senior accountant ලා and CEOs are also as a instructions or as advice, but don't do frauds at the beginning stage of your career, intentionally or unintentionally. That's the finish your whole career.
Yes sir.
හදිස්සියේවත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ කැරියර් එක පටන් ගන්නකොටම if you are involving with such a fraud intentionally or unintentionally, මේක තමයි භයානක ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ life එකේ. Be accountant is very danger and risky. වැරදිලාව හරි unintentionally fraud එකකට සම්බන්ධ වුණොත්, intentionally හරි සම්බන්ධ වුණොත්, හරි by mistakes හරි වුණොත් එහෙම ඒක career එක පුරාම යනවා. එතනින් එහාට no way to go to another company. Maybe you will leave that particular company and another company also, they never recruit you. Hari කවුරුත් ඊට පස්සේ
If I
ආව
share you
ගන්නේ නැහැ.
one more example, sir.
Yes.
Actually, one incident was happened to one of our students, right? Actually, that is an exam violation. Because of that, his degree was suspended for like 1 year or 2 years, right? That market knew that information. Anyway, I don't know how, but market or the industry knew that information. Then that students was facing very high level of difficulties in finding placements.
Yes, very difficult. Very difficult. That is what that day I advised to that students also who made issues to my lecture. It's a very bad. You know, you have to be very careful your life. Any small mistakes, right? Intentional or unintentional, by mistake, right? It will be go one by one person's hands to another person's hand, and one organization to another organization. Then no one finally recruit you. Your career is totally dumb. You have to be very careful. Most of the students had such a kind of a problem. I remember many people came to see me. So it's they talked to me. It's unintentionally. They didn't have any idea, but by mistakes, and human error, it was happened. But the industry doesn't care after that. They thought you were involving with that. You can't say you are. Even the courts say you are finally good man. But the name is goes, one by hand. Be careful. But only thing in that time, if you want to overcome, you have to leave the country. I have to tell that one also. But I'm not advising to do. You have to be very careful. That's what we teach these subjects, myself, and I think we thought that very beginning to avoid this topic. But Sandarwan sir insists to be, no sir, this is the very important topic and you have to teach, right? This is a very important of our students to understand. Sandarwan sir, you remember
Yes,
that
sir.
you told
Yes,
me
yes.
several times, right?
Yes, sir.
මම මේක අතාරින්න හැදුවා, මේක ළමයින්ට සරලයිනේ කියවන්න පුළුවන් නේ කියලා. But he said we have to teach that. Now in case by mistake you are there, that is it, මොන හරි මොකක් හරි ජීවිතයේ තියෙන දුකකට තමයි වුණොත් එහෙම, the only solution, leave the country, go to Dubai or some other country and work after 10 to 15 years and come back. In that time you have a money, you can start your own business or something like that. But anyway, it's a solution, alternative, right? Because I have to say that otherwise you will see dangerous situation. But there are things, right, to overcome as well. But anyway, I advise very beginning to you have to be careful, because you are going to be accountant, like a medical doctor who doing operation like that. You be accountant. When you are working with accountant, mistakes you can't do, right? Intentional or unintentional, you can't do anything. Just say sorry is okay for us, right? We accept as a teachers. We are very adult teachers. We accept what you said, but that is not the way the industry accepts you, right? That is danger to you. You remember the one of our students long time back, I remember, who had a problem with this treasury. Sandaruwan sir මතක නැතුව ඇති, ඔයා හිටියද දන්නේ නැහැ කාලේ අපේ ඇස්ම එකේ හිටියා, secretary or something like that, right? I remember that was also finally came to me to solve the issues, but we solved it, right? You have to be very careful because you are dealing with somebody else's money, right? Most of the accountants are dealing with somebody else's money, not your own money. If you're dealing with your own money, forget about that. Whether it's a loss or a gone, don't worry. Your car, your money, your petrol, whatever. But now you are dealing with somebody else's money, the owner's money, shareholders' money, as a director or as a finance CEO or accountant. When you are dealing with somebody else's money, the high responsibility, high, very high you have that, what do you call that, responsibility and other kind of things. You have to be very careful about that, I think. Sadharvansa also can give many examples, many cases we will see later when you are dealing with this topic. The fraud, most fraud preparators. Preparators mean person who are, who involving with that, who set in the game, are knowledgeable insider. That's what the outsider can't come and do the frauds. He should be the person who have a lot of knowledge in the system, a knowledge about the organizations. Or maybe there is some person who are inside, they have sell the knowledge to the other person, to the outsider, A to Z. Otherwise, very hard, right? Somebody come outside and rob the bank, very difficult, without knowing internal information, insiders information, very important to rob the system, right? Otherwise, robbery is not so easy for the outsiders, right? Because system is there, you should know the system A to Z, word to word, to do something like that. There are so many examples in our country. I don't want to take those examples to explain to you. You have to deal with your own way. That's what people say are different, but you have to study in depth of the each and every cases. Most fraud perpetrators are knowledgeable insiders with the requisite access, skills, and resources, because employees understand a company's system and its weaknesses. They are better able to commit and conceal a fraud. That's what you have to understand, right? Somebody inside is the person who know everything about the system to do something, right? As an auditor, when you go, first guess the people who are in the organization, who are working inside the organization, than the outsiders, right? Sometimes they will mislead to you. Some outsider came and get. Not that can happen. Look at, even though outsider can happen, yeah, somebody else inside the organization leak the information, give in the information, right? There's a broader way you have to think about that.
And sir,
yes,
it is
go
very
ahead,
difficult.
sir.
It is very difficult to identify these white collar criminals by appearance, right? And also
Yes,
the way now
you are right.
when we go to a auditor, way they treat us and way they dress and way they talk, right? So by looking at the appearance, by thinking about their sayings, එහෙම නැත්නම් කියන දේවල් ගැන ඒවයෙන් අපිට හොයාගන්න බැහැ sir, right? We should have more experience, like if a senior auditor is there, then he or she might be able to trace these frauds. Otherwise we might not be able to trace these frauds, because එයාලා කතා කරන විදිය සමහරට එයාලා කියන්නේ මේක හොඳ සිස්ටම් එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ එහෙම කියලා. ඒතර කතාවෙන් අපිව මිස්ලීඩ් වෙනවා. So we should not mislead by the talks and the appearance and the treatments. ඒ වගේ දේවල් වලින් mislead වෙන්න හොඳ නැහැ sir.
Okay, thank you, Sadharvansa. You have very newly information, because you also very young and very recently, you came from the audit firm. Then you have a lot of experience. My experience in audit firm, I think very older than your age sometimes, right? Older than
Yes,
your
sir.
age, because I did my articles those days. Company, I don't know whether it's still there or not. Tudor V. Pereira. Chatham, still there, Chatham Street, right? That is in the Pagoda building. I remember upstairs. I was there for 3 years to complete articles, right? Those days, right? It's a very small audit firm, I think, in that time, right? I also have but old experience. I have more after that. I became a lecturer. I forgot about all kind of things. Anyway, fraud perpetrators are often referred to as a white collar criminals. Frauds, you can see here, white collar criminals mean gentlemen. Honestly speaking, gentlemen, right? You and me is a gentleman, right? Typically business people who commit frauds. But you said that nowadays that SME people get the working capital under the low interest rate. What they do, it's also commit fraud, right? It's also criminal fraud, right? What white collar criminals usually resort to tricky or a cunning cunning, and their crimes usually involve a violation of the trust or a confidence. I will give one example. I got stuck, Sadharvan's, this example. You remember that that e-commerce company who did Kapruka. You remember Kapruka?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
When we at the home, I think under the Corona time.
Yes.
Right, Kapruka, they sell even Salya kilo, they sell in 1,000 something like that. Right, 100 rupees Salya kilo. Also, they sell in a huge amount under that situation. He is a World Bank, that accepted scholar. Right, I have listened to his presentation. Right, he got so many medals. He was the first person who developed the Kapruka organization. Right, it's an e-commerce site, people doing a business through internet, and he became a rich, right? And finally, World Bank called him to a presentation, right? And his business model, I think, evaluated by the various people in the world. You have to be very careful. I don't know what happened to that case. Finally, it was Han who, I think, it went very fast, right? You have to be very careful, doing a business, working, studying, especially for accounting. If you're in some other professions, we don't insist you like this, right? Because your issues are our issues as well at later stage. The corruptions, right? That is confidence and all violation, trust and confidence, all in crime. Corruption, dishonest conduct by those in the power, which often involves actions that are legitimate, immoral, or incompatible with the ethical standards. Example, including bribery and bid rigging. I think bid rigging, you remember that central bank situation? It's a bid rigging. You can't say now it's not happened. It's still there. Right? When you go to the certain in the auctions, you can find out the bid riggings. 13 games you can find out, right? Now, how do we going to avoid such a situation? Right? The corruption is a trend everywhere. Right? It's a trend in everywhere. Right? Then investment frauds, also another one, I think, especially.
Another example, sir, the corruptions in the prison.
Yeah, especially nowadays, right?
Yes, sir.
They use the cat and
eagle.
Some eagle, yeah, some bird, right? You can see those are also the different mechanism people always using, in the situation. Then auditors responsible to detect. Some students can say, I don't like auditing. No, every accountant be auditor. Every auditor be accountant, but in different situation. Not in the same situation. You be accountant, you accountant. But later stage, you can be auditor. Then you can't be accountant in that time. Right? Accountant and auditor is a dual task, I think. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It's our part of our life, I think. Right?
Yes, sir. Part and partial to the accountant's
part and, yes. The auditor's responsible to detect frauds. You have to detect when you have to find out. Sometimes I think some people argue that theoretical literature, we are not a watchdogs. Yes. Right? Auditors are not watchdogs. Auditors want to develop the system, then the frauds already avoided. But nowadays trend is different because there is an auditing act is there. I think you have read the auditing act, right? Maybe you will learn the auditing act. Under auditing act, auditor cannot find out the frauds, I think he's a responsible. Please
Yes.
read that Auditor Act. Right? It's a very good act. Very recently, which we came across to the environment. I write that Auditor Act much, right? And unfortunately, Audit Commission, they can't establish. If that is also coming, I think very strong, but that was somewhere lost. Anyway, understand the frauds is very important part. Discuss the risks of material fraudulent misstatement. I think so the rules explain, right? Material fraudulent misstatement. I think most of the accountants are doing that one, right? That is very danger, right? Where you say we have a high profit after profit before tax or after profit tax after tax, our profit is such and such. You disclose to the newspapers. Then what happened? The share market gets some information, right? The information is available to everybody. Then share market, they thought your information true and fair. Then they can buy the shares. That affected to the, somebody's unfair gain. You have to be very careful when you do some statements, obtain information, right? You remember there are a lot of people in US, I think, they are in the courts, right? Third party violation, wire transfer, right? They get the information. Now, good example I can tell you. Suppose you are working in a company, right? You know, the Professor Kennedy is a poor lecturer, right? Even Sundaravan sir also, we are poor lecturers, you know that. Then you are a very director, very big person in the company. You give some information to me. Sir, we are going to disclose or declare the dividends next week. You just tell to me. Then I know what to do, right? Now, 1 week ahead, you are telling to me. Then today itself, I got a bank loan and buy many shares myself and other ones, right? After declaration of the dividends, what happened? Our share prices go higher. Then we sell immediately and get the, get the benefit, get the return. Now that is obtaining information, right? That is a fraud, right? Court will charge, right? In US, I think in prison, a lot of CEOs under that category, right? I think other ones also can give some information, right? Or you can type US prison, who are the people you can find out. Identify the access and respond to risk. Accountants frauds are not like stealing money or stealing assets, not like that. I think information is the biggest issue, information. Even you can't declare the salaries of the employees, right? Those are also confidential information. But most of the industry knows, right? Most of the industry knows how much paying that accountant, that company, that manager, how much. But what is that? What is the secret? What is how they get the information? How to obtain the information? There is no mechanism in the company or in Sri Lanka in the system. Everybody get others information. That is what the strategy is developing part is very weak. Evaluating the results of their audit test, documenting and communicating findings, right? Auditors' role to detect the frauds, right? We are not judges to decide and put into the people, the prison, but there is a system to manage it. Incorporate a technological focus.
Sir,
Now, yes, go ahead, sir.
we have got a very good question from Mihiraj,
Yes.
one of the students. He says system developers also be able to do many frauds. No, sir, because they know the system failures. I heard
Yes.
about that kind of thing was faced by the bank's name is mentioned, but I don't reveal the name.
Okay.
I know the issue as well. The bank name is there. For such frauds, how do we carry out investigations or audits? So,
Yeah, it's very simple now. Very simple. In my knowledge is concerned, I'm also working in the 1 or 2 banks as a director level. I
yes.
know, these informations are highly confidential.
Yeah.
And if somebody else develop the system system analysis or whatever the system mechanism who develop and establish,
Yes.
he has to write a agreement, non-disclosure information agreement.
Right.
He has to, it's bind by him, non-disclosure agreement. So he has disclosed any kind of information, we can go to courts and charge to him, because he has unethical and he has already signed. He doesn't disclose the information to the other people. Once he discloses the information, he against to his agreement, right? That means the breach of condition, right? Now, under this situation, a contract, no, he has to break the contract, right?
Yes.
He has already, even auditors also, even accountant also, they have to sign certain agreement. Now, when you are doing a research, sometimes some organization information you need, you sign and say that like a disclosure info. You are not going to disclose this, your company name, others' name, you disclose them. Something like that, this disclosures agreement, right? Non-disclosure agreement is a very, very essential part of the organization.
Okay, sir. Now assume that there is an agreement between the organization and the system developer.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So they have the agreement. Assume that the system developer knows the loopholes, weaknesses in the system, right?
Yes.
Without leaking that information to the others, they are doing the fraud, right?
Yeah.
In a case like that, they have the agreement, but they are expert.
In the agreement itself, not a leakage of the information, right? He also can't, it's always a dual, right? Another person involving. He has to inform that he is not, after he's developing the system, right? In case he doesn't, he has to explain the codes to the organization, transfer to the organized codes to the internal employee, right? Now he is the responsible for all work, right?
No, so the question is if that is not revealed by others.
No, he has to reveal.
Yeah.
Reveal is a information now. It's an agreement. Before signing the job, before giving the job, he has to come to certain contracts, rules, and regulations, right? These codes you have to provide it. You have to reveal the mechanism. You have to train the employees. Otherwise, we are not giving a job to him.
Right. So if I add two things, sir, now organizations heavily depend on IT systems. Right?
Yes.
Now there is a risk management committee in the organization.
Yes.
The risk management committee look at other risks like,
especially banks. I think they look at the others. Yes.
But nowadays, in the risk management committee, they should consider the risk of information systems, right?
Yes.
To the risk management committee, they can take one or two IT specialists. Then they know the thing very well. In the risk management committee, they can look at whether there is a risk of such things in the system.
Yes. You are right. Risk management committee is responsible for every kind of a risk are concerned in the organization, right? Now their job is to predict the risk and control the risk. After happening something, I think it's coming under auditor, it's coming in another committee, audit committee and all. But before that, risk management has to predict the situation. That is their main job. I think a risk committee involving all the senior managers, including IT specialists as well, right? There are some examples I can tell you. I don't come to my mind as clearly, but in meantime, I will explain to you when it comes to my mind.
I have two examples. Now,
yes, go ahead, sir.
This type of risk has not been traditionally addressed by the risk management committee. Now, if you take most of the government institutions, they have websites, payment gateways, and information submission and all, right? But they don't take this as a risk area, right? They don't have a risk management committee. I can't reveal the names of the organization. We can take almost all the government organization, including universities, right? So we don't have a risk management committee who look after the risk of this information system, right? So there are situations which are actually
Yes,
confidential.
that is the part we are taking. We are telling to our students lack of internal control
Internal
system.
controls.
Yeah, if a sound internal control system, they have to establish the risk committee, right? They have several committees. Why they are not expecting a risk committee? Disaster management committee, risk committee, right? There are so many. Now, say good example. Recently, I think that students who got suffer from the that tire එකක් පෙරලිලා
Yes, sir.
ඒක හරි ටයර් බාන්න ටයර් ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් එකේ වීසි කරලා තිබ්බා. කාගේද වැරද්ද? අපි දැන් මේක ළමයි අන්තිමට මේ මාව කෝට් කරන්න එපා කොහෙවත් ගිහිල්ලා මම ඔක වයිස් චාන්සලර්ෙන් අහලා පොඩ්ඩක් බැලුනුත් ඇහැව්වා. රයිට් මම මේ කියන්නේ ටයර් හැමතැනම ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් එකේ දාලා තිබුණා. මුම් බීලා ටයර් පෙරළුවා. හරි ටයර් තිබුණ නැත්තම් පෙරලන්න හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරි දැන් ආයතනයක මේන්ටෙනන්ස් තියෙනවා ඒවා චෙක් කරන්න ඕන බලන්න ඕන. You got my point, Sandalwan sir?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
ඒක ටිකක් අපි sensitive information එකක් ඔයා මේක දානකොට අපි ඒක delete කරලා දාමු. දැන් එහෙම තිබුණා නම් risk එක අඩුයි නේද ඔය සිදුවීමට?
Yes, sir.
risk එක අඩුයි නේද ඔය සිදුවීමට අපිට නිකන් එහෙම තිබුණා නම් ඒක තිබුණු නිසා ඒක exercise කරන්න හැම්මෙන් කියලා there are some points coming like that. හරි දැන් ඒක මම ගොඩක් explain කරලා ඉතු නැහැ මං හිතන්නේ හොඳ නැහැ but you have to be careful.
Broadly උත්සාහ කරන්නේ the environment should be there to avoid such risk.
අන්න හරි ඒක තමයි මං කියන්නේ. අපි ඒක නෑ අපි predict කරන්න ඕන හැමතිස්සෙම මේක මෙතන තිබුණොත් කුමක් වෙයිද? හරි අපේ ගෙදර තිබුණොත් මොනවා හරි දැන් ත්‍රිකෝණයක් වගේ එකක් ශාලෙ මැද්දේ ළමෙක් ඕකේ බඩේ ඇනීමේ සම්භාවිතය වැඩි පොඩි ළමෙක් දුවලා කියලා අපිට හිතෙන්න ඕන.
මේ සෙන්ස් එක අපිට තියෙන්නේ.
සෙන්ස් එක තියෙන්න. අපි ඒක අවොයිඩ් කරගන්න.
උදාහරණයක් මම ඔකත් එක්ක මතක් වෙච්ච එකක් කියන්නම් සර්. Fire extinguishers in buildings in government and private sectors. අර ගිනි නිවන මේ සිලින්ඩර්ස් තියෙන සර්. Sir? Can you hear me?
Sir, මාව ඇහෙනවා කියන්න.
Alright. Sir, there are a lot of fire extinguishers in buildings in government and private sector organizations.
මම දැකලා තියෙනවා.
But including me and you, I think that we don't know how to use it. And we don't...
There is no training, no fire training, we don't get it.
අපි මොනවා කරයිද දන්නේ නැහැ සර් ගින්නක් ඇතුණොත් ඕකෙන් ගමල ගහයිද දන්නේත් නැහැ.
එතන හැබැයි බෝඩ් එකක ගහලා තියෙන එක යූස් කරන හැටි හැබැයි ගින්නක් ඇති වෙන වෙලාවක අපිට ඒක කියවන්න බෑ. හරි අපි බය වෙනවනේ. But in some organization they have a trials, right? Fire trials කියලා තියෙනව නේද ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ?
Yes sir.
හරි ඒවා තියෙනවා ඒවා තමයි risk කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒ වගේ ඒවා ගොඩක් companies වල තියෙනවා මං හිතන්නේ. We have to apply.
Pereira says if the company is doing a fraudulent illegal activity, can the auditor reveal that information to the regulators without the permission of the company?
Yes. Now, without the permission, can't. Auditor immediately inform to his boss, right? Or the respective section heads. They are the people going to take the actions. I think they have to inform the police and all these things. That is the organization duty. Auditor can reveal it and he has to explain. Suppose that as a young auditor revealed it and he has to say to his boss, the boss will say to the organization in charge or a person, maybe a personal division manager or a chief accountant, or maybe accountant's fraud, he got caught to that, then he has to say chief accountant or a CFO, he has to inform to them. We don't have a, we can reveal to the bosses. That means our top management and our top managers are goes to the organization top management only. We can't go to the police, right, as auditor, but you have to be double checked before you going to reveal anything, because it can be a cost or it can be a come back to you also, bounce back to you also.
And also,
Double check, yeah, double check can be crystal clear. If it is a crystal clear, then of course inform to the management. Management will take the decision.
and also,
So
sir, auditor can change the audit opinion accordingly. In the
yeah,
auditor's report.
that is also coming after that. But immediate action, I think, if it is a financial frauds, I think immediately you have to go to the police. Under criminal act, you have to decide. No? You have to
Yes.
implement that one. Then you have to inform the big people. Otherwise, auditor will. But anyway, auditor has to go to the courts and all kind of things. Those are part and parcel of our life. What to do? Right?
And he's asking another question, sir. What if the higher level is not taking actions and they are also involved in that fraud?
Then definitely you have to tell your audit superiors, right? Maybe your partners or a particular organization, and then you have to leave the firm, I think, as soon as possible, right? Otherwise you will get caught one day involving with such a things. I think but anyway you can't directly, you can't go to the police.
Okay,
Because
sir.
you are not in, I am not much 100% knowledge about that. We will ask from some seniors who are doing auditing organization, much experienced person, and answer to you next time. එහෙම කරමු නේද? අපි
Okay.
නොදන්නේව කියන්න අමාරුයි. නොදන්නේව අපිට අමාරුයි කියන්න පුතා. අපිට හැබැයි එහෙම වෙන්න බෑ. හැබැයි ඉතින් ලොකු අයත් එහෙමනම් ඉතින් මොකද්ද කරන්න කියන එක නම් ඉතින් හරි අමාරුයි මට
The
උත්තරයක්
only
දෙන්න.
thing is, we can perform our duty. Our duty is to check the financial statements standards, right? So if we reveal a fraud, for which even the higher management, top management is also involved, so what we can do is we can change our audit opinion accordingly. So we have fulfilled our responsibility, because audit report is a document which says the fairness of the financial reports, right? So if we reveal such a fraud, what we can do is we can change the audit opinion accordingly and issue the audit report to the respective users or stakeholders.
Now that is one-sided, but his argument is, I think, that students is very interesting argument. But community gets suffer now because of that fraud, right? Later we can give so many reports or so many statements, but that is continuously going on. Community will get suffer. Maybe some group of people get suffer. That kind of issue, I think, he's raising. I think for that, I think we need some legal action, right? But auditor can't involve in directly for the legal action, but it should be come from the maybe I never see the audit firms are acting legal kind of a work in Sri Lanka. Only thing I have idea about US, I think. I don't remember the name of the organization. An audit firm also, very big firm. I don't remember. Give me a little time for me to come back to a good answer for you. Right? I should want to study your texture. Honestly speaking, it's very interesting. But that's another one said one-sided. We can report it. We can give our audit opinion. But in the other aspect also, they are in this question. So, අපි study කරලා උත්තරයක් දෙමු නේද?
Okay, so we will move to the next topic.
Okay, good question, right? Thank you very much. But people can ask several like that. I think this is a very hot topic. Everybody's mind, right?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, two categories of fraud. One is, for in our case, right? Misappropriation of assets. Assets including, all cash and all. I think I told you very beginning, you remember, to be rich, what do you want? Assets. When you are misappropriation assets, you can't be rich. You can be a poor, right? Thief of company assets. It's not a fixed assets, everything, right? Current assets, cash, inventory, which can include physical assets, cash, inventory, digital assets, our intellectual properties, information, protected trade secret. Trade secret like Coca-Cola formula, no one knows still, right? No one knows how to make the Coca-Cola. Otherwise, we can make Coca-Cola at our home, right? We have all the fresh juice, right? Orange juice, apple juice, everything we can fresh our home, but Coca-Cola formula, not yet, right? The trade secret, customer data, right? Now those things, I think, misappropriation of assets category coming under that. It's one of the very big category of the fraud. Fraudulent financial reporting. I think Sandhu also mentioned that you change the figures, you change the information, right? You change the revenue. I think we can give a massive information. I think there are a lot of case studies in India and US, right? Satyam, good case study in Satyam. You can type Satyam case study, right? When you are come to the finally, I teach that case study to you under corporate governance practices. Satyam case, right? Satyam case is audited by the, I think, the Price Waterhouse, right? They also get caught to that issue, I think. When you are working in Price Waterhouse, they also teach you what is Satyam case, right? But we teach in depth, right? Cooking the books mean not eating the cook mean cooking the books is like, yeah, you change the figures, you distort the figures, right? You modify the figures, you alter the figures. That is another kind of thing. So you can add something for this.
One point that I want to highlight, sir, in case of misappropriation of asset, the person who does the fraud, we call it as a perpetrator. The person who does the fraud is the beneficiary, right? Misappropriation of
Yes.
asset fraud එක කරන කෙනා තමයි ඒකේ beneficiary වෙන්නේ. එයා තමයි ඒකේ undue advantage එක ගන්න. But when it comes to the fraudulent financial reporting, the beneficiary will be the company. Right? That is one notable difference between these two, sir.
හැබැයි එහෙමත් නැහැ නේද සර්? දැන් අපි හිතමු කෑෂ් එහෙම ගත්තොත් එහෙම එයාත් බෙනිෆිෂරි වෙනවා. නමුත් වෙන්නේ දැන් අපි හිතමු එතකොට ආයතනට ලොස් එකක් නෙවෙන්නේ නේද?
ඔව් සර්.
ඔය පොයින්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඉන්වෙන්ටරි එකක් ගත්තත් එතකොට බෙනිෆිට්ස් ගත්ත එක්කෙනාට විතරයි බෙනිෆිට් එක තියෙන්නේ. සොසයිටි එකට බෙනිෆිට් එකක් එන්නේ නැහැනේ කියන එක නේද? You are right. That way you come with a different angle. Good. I like it. Right. Then we'll move to the misappropriation assets further. So put continue කරන වතුර එකක් බීලා එන්න පොඩ්ඩක් කැරකිල්ලක් දාලා හරි.
Right. Now, as we have been emphasizing right from the beginning, the most significant factor for misappropriation of asset is lack of or weak internal controls, right? Or failure to enforce existing internal controls. There are internal controls, but we fail to enforce them. Now, one classic example is these days we are talking about coronavirus, right? Many institutions and organizations have established the washing spots and wash basins in front of the organizations, right? But how many organizations follow these controls, right? Today I went to a bank, right? And they just check my temperature. It is not a proper check-in, right? So I should suppose I am supposed to wash my hand, right? But there is no sink or wash basin, right? So keep in mind, the most significant factor for misappropriation of asset is the absence of internal controls. So there are internal controls, but we fail to follow these internal controls, right? Actually, in Sri Lanka also, we had a similar case. Example, you can see a bank vice president approved US $1 billion in bad loans in exchange for $585,000 in kickbacks. It is a bribe, right? The loans cost to the bank $800 million and helped the trigger its collapse. Bank right? Now, if the bank collapses, the banking system collapses. ඒකයි අපේ central bank එකත් ඇතුළුව ලෝකේ central banks ඒ bank එකක් වැටෙන්න දෙන්නේ නැත්තේ. One classic example, when the Ceylon Bank was about to collapse, right? What happened? The Bank of Ceylon's director board was appointed to the Ceylon Bank to manage, right? Therefore, it is still being managed under the director board of Bank of Ceylon, right? If one bank collapses, the banking system collapses. If the banking system collapses, the entire economy will be collapsed, right? So see the social impact, social cost, right? So misappropriation of asset, Lamai, this is very, very broad. Now, if I take a personal call from the official telephone, right? It is also a misappropriation of asset. අපි මේකේ සිංහල වචන කියන්නේ මතකද පහුගිය කාලෙම ආවා. වත්කම් අවභාවිතය. හරි වත්කම් අවභාවිතය. official vehicle එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා නම් private use කරොත් ඒක වත්කම් අවභාවිතයක්. Right? So this is very broad lamai. Then actually you can, when you work, you can think, do I really misappropriate asset? Okay. If you are not, then you are a good worker. Sometimes you might misappropriate asset, but you might think that I am not doing that, right? Okay. So that is about misappropriation of asset. Only thing is, Sir is sharing the screen, so I can't move the slides. Okay, Mihiraj has raised another question relevant to the auditing standard SLA US 240, but I'm not going to answer that question because we don't go into that extent like auditing, right? So what we focus here is frauds and why perpetrators do frauds and what are the computer frauds, such frauds which have implications on AIS. Right? Therefore, we don't go into that extent. Otherwise, we don't have time. Okay, until Sir comes, what we can do? Okay, I think you have the slides. Therefore, I will open slides from my end. So you can see the examples of misappropriation of asset, gains the trust or confidence of the entity being defrauded. මේ perpetrator කරන දේවල්, ඒ කියන්නේ මේ frauds කරන කෙනා කරන දේවල්. මං කිව්ව අර appearance එකෙන් කතා කරන විදිහෙන් treatment වලින් හොයන්න බෑ. Right? Gains the trust, විශ්වාසය ගන්න ඔයාගේ. Right? And the confidence of the entity being defrauded. Right? අර අපි කියන්නේ නිකන් එකට ඉඳලා ඊට පස්සේ යටින් ගේම් එක දෙනවා කියලා ඒ වගේ. Uses tricky, cunning or false or misleading information to commit fraud. හරි? පුළුවන් තරම් එයාව හදනවා. මේ ඔයාලා කියවලා බලන්න පුළුවන්. Conceals the fraud by falsifying records or other information. ඒ fraud එක හංගනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් වැරදි තොරතුරු දෙනවා. Rarely terminates the fraud voluntarily. හරි? මේක නවතින්නේ නැහැ. මේක continuous process එකක්. දිගටම කරනවා. එකපාරක් හොරකම් කරපු කෙනෙක් තව පාරක් හොරකම් කරනවා. Sees how easy it is to get extra money, right? Because it is someone else's money, right? If you steal someone else's money, it is effortless, right? So ekatama කෑදර වෙනවා, need or greedy. Spends the ill-gotten gains. නිකන්නේ හම්බුනේ, right? එනිසා වියදම් කරනවා to buy vehicles, to buy houses, to have a luxury life. Right? Therefore, rarely does the perpetrator save or invest the money because they don't know the value of the money. Right? That is not the gains that they have got from hard working. Right? That is someone else's money. They don't know the value of that effort and the money. Therefore, they don't invest in a proper mechanisms and ways. Right? So they spend on lot of things and waste their money. Right? මේව නිකන් මතක තියාගන්න මේව නිකන් පොඩි ඉන්ඩිකේෂන්ස් එහෙම නැත්නම් කැරක්ටරිස්ටික්ස් වගේ ට්‍රස්ට් එක ගන්නවා ඊට පස්සේ false information දෙනවා දැන් සමහර අපි දන්නවා previous times there were governments who relied on falsified information and took actions accordingly, but ultimately the government was defeated in the election. සමහර ගවර්න්මන්ට් තිබිලා තිනවා ලංකාවේ ඒ government එකට උපදෙස් නැත්නම් ඒ information දුන්න කට්ටිය වැරදි information දීම නිසා ගත්ත තීරණ වැරදිච්ච. ඒව නිසා මිනිස්සු election එකේදී ඒකට punishment දුන්නා. right? Gets greedy and takes ever larger amount of money at intervals that are more frequent.
පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහලා තියෙනවා අත්හදරු වංශ එක ළමේ මම ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් කියවන්න.
Right, sir.
So when comes to Sri Lankan context, is there any laws or acts that can identify your sue to the accountants and executives? Because still executive CFO of perpetual treasurer couldn't get punished. Yeah, I read this case study very well. There is an act in Sri Lanka, the third party violation, third party information. The punishment is there, that means it's a legal act is there. But only thing you have to prove it in transparent manner. Prove is the difficulties, until the person is guilty, right? You can't punish him, right? The සැකේ වාසිය තියෙන්නේ හැමතිස්සෙම අනිත් එක්කෙනාට. එහෙත් ඒක සැකේ කිසිම වාසියක් කියන්නේ යාට ඒක හරිය 100% crystal clear prove කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන. Then in the case of perpetual property, without a inside information, who is doing this job? Right? Somebody else inside the organization should give this information, time period, date, what is happening and everything. We have to prove it. And in the past also, this kind of things happen mostly, right? That is also we have to prove it. Nobody proved. The historically not proved, at the moment also not proved. That is the issue. One a day, I think it's a court pending. I can't give any argument, any ideas about that. But only thing is a normal black and white situation. You need evidence to prove it to punish. I think the legal act is there, right? Maybe you can read this case study. It's also very interesting. One a day, it can be one of our teaching material about the frauds are concerned, or how to manage the frauds and what is happening and all kind of things. I have idea to develop a small certificate course or a diploma course also, fraud, right? Overcome the fraud, risks and frauds and kind of things based on these all scenarios. And that's what in a political situation, people can tell everything. We can't say those are true. It's dominated by the media, right? The media can say many things, then people can take the decision based on that. That decisions, I think we can't valuable here. What the people, convince from the media, they think everything is true and fair. That is the issue, but that is not the legal. The legal situation and media situation, not same. You have to be very carefully understand. The media, they want more attractions and maybe support you, some people behind the game. But in the legal, everything you have to be a very crystal clear. You have to prove it. That is what happened, I think. People says many things, media says many things. No one can't get the action finally without a the fully crystal clear ideas. That is something you have to, you more powerful than us to understand. Then after